Welcome to the Music Firsthand live streaming showcase. I'm your host, Chris Petrafka, and we're live here from Austin, Texas, the live music capital of the world. And we do this because we love to feature great local musicians every week. And we do this because of the likes and shares that we get. So if you're watching, please like and share. Please tag a friend. And if you're watching later, please like and share. And we post our shows later on YouTube, so subscribe to our channel on YouTube. That's really what keeps us going. We're a group of volunteers that just loves what we do, and we love to talk to these artists. And we try to do it in a fun and creative and lighthearted way. So if you're watching now, if you're going to tune in, or if you watch later, send us your questions, and send us your most ridiculous, weird questions. Whatever you want to ask, I'm going to ask the artist, because that's what we're here for, to make this just fun and lighthearted. Also, if you're interested in sponsoring us, we would love to have you join us. We've had Compass Rose Cellars, we've had Cuvée Coffee, New Standard Manufacturing with these great t-shirts. They're really soft, they're really nice. I'm probably going to fall asleep on David's shoulder halfway through the show because they're just so soft and cuddly. So you want to check out New Standard Manufacturing. But hey, with no further ado, I want to welcome to you our guest tonight, David Selbo. And so please enjoy tonight's show. David.
All right. She was raised by the wind, felt at home in her own skin, with all those things that she did to him. She was more like a spell cast upon his wishing well, and she was more like a dream he knew won't come true. It won't come true. He lays gently in the bed, spends another night alone, and he wished he was somewhere else instead, in her dreams, in her arms, in her home, where she was more like a spell cast upon his wishing well. More like a dream he knew won't come true. It won't come true. It won't come true. Well, he flies, she cries, chase that sunrise. They're like two birds of a feather. One thing is for sure, he will adore the time they spend together. Well, she was more like a spell cast upon his wishing well. She was more like a dream he knew won't come true. It won't come true. It won't come true.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's great. Is that from the first album?
No, that's from my
From the new one, okay.
Yeah, new album.
I couldn't remember because I was listening to both albums and it's like the first album you were definitely single. The second album, I'm like, this guy's in love, because the second album has a lot of happy love songs on it.
That's
I think
funny. That's funny. No, I was actually. I have a girlfriend. We were together during both productions.
All right. Well, there was. It's definitely like a little more darker in that first album, I think, compared to as I listened to it. As in the second one, I'm like, man, this is like a little more romantic, I think.
Well, my EP actually has like some happier songs.
Yep.
This new album has I don't know, my dad would put it, he's like, "Are you getting serious?"
See, that's it. Your dad's right.
Yeah, my dad was, "Are you getting serious?" So,
Uh-huh.
I guess my songwriting had changed just slightly, and I wanted to put out some just different content.
Yeah.
You know, the songs I put out the first time on the EP were a little. I just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, just really wanted to have fun.
And I could tell. I came across as I listened to them. That's why I was like, man, that's got to be the first album as I listened to it. But you're right. Your dad's spot on. So, and if you're just tuning in, by the way, please send in your questions and help me interview David. You can participate with us. So I know some of you are watching online, and please ask us some ridiculous questions because this is meant to be a lot of fun, which is why I get to tease him and give him a hard time. So tell us a little about the new album. Tell us a bit more about what's different about it from that first one. It's obviously what your dad says, a little more serious.
Well, I wrote a song called "Build Me a Space" for a friend that was going through a hard time, and I think that was something that really changed my perspective as far as what music can do as far as healing purposes. At the time, I'd written several different kinds of songs, but never really seen the reaction, And I played "Build Me a Space" and a few other songs at some shows, and people would come up to me like, "Hey, that song you played," and making that connection is something that I wanted more from this new album. Okay. Whereas the first one, it was more just like I had something to say. I had something to say. That's all.
Yeah, and I love the title. I mean, "Build Me a Space," especially what's going on in the world today and everything that's happening.
Oh yeah, man.
It couldn't have been like more just very poignant, very very good. Yeah, is it related to me? And so and you guys can get the album right now. I know it's available on iTunes. You can pick it up there and Spotify.
Yeah, and actually they'll be here on Thursday, hard copies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have hard copies on Thursday. So
all right, so you catch a show.
Come to a show, you get a hard copy.
That's right. When is your next show? Where can people see you next?
I'm playing. Ooh.
You play a lot.
Yeah, I play. Yeah. I know I play Saturday at Peggy's on the Green.
Okay.
And Friday, I believe I play. I don't know. I have to double check.
I bet by the time that you thought about that, Mario, who's working social night, has probably already found it and published it. So he's quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. You're gonna have hard copies of the album.
Yeah.
Which is and it is an outstanding album. We had it playing in here earlier, and Ben and I were listening to it, and we're thoroughly impressed. We actually were comparing it to some of Aaron Stevens' work, who we've had as a guest on here before. I haven't seen Aaron's, and we got to a little bit of competition about. Which of these artists are responsible for fathering more children because of their music? It's going to be a close call, David and Aaron. We might start taking bets here. So, but I don't want any paternity suits coming out. Okay, so.
That's funny, man. Playing shows. Every now and then you'll get the people that. You don't need Marvin Gaye, So you play "Let's Get It On," and then after that song, I was like, man, I wonder how many babies. I wonder how many babies were made to that song.
That's good. That's true. Because people do listen to it. I listened to it all day. I was like, it's raining here today in Austin.
Yeah,
we had a candle going on in the room. I was getting all romantic. David walked in and was like, what is going on in this setup here? So when did you first learn to play? How'd you get started?
Well, my dad played guitar, and he taught me how to play in his own unique way. I would learn something and show him, and he would say, "You're doing that wrong." He never actually really physically sat down and said, like, this is this chord. He gave me a book that he had for a while, and it was like, these are the chords in this key. Practice those for 1 week, and so every day after track practice in high school, I would just sit there, and so I started playing guitar my senior year in high school.
Okay.
And
do you still have the book that your dad gave you?
No, man. That book's long gone, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So you learned to play when you were 18.
Yeah, when I was 18, that's when I first started playing. And my dad, it's one of those things where he's very influential in my life, but as far as the songs go, he could never really sit down and say, like, this is what you need to do. Okay. He could play it, and I had to just be a sponge.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's one of the things he taught me to just be a sponge.
To absorb it, and a lot of people learn well that way.
Yeah, and his record collection and CD collection is huge.
Yeah.
So just being able to go through there and pick his brain.
Yeah, I love talking to people like that. Or I get to visit people's homes and I see their collection. I'm just like, oh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were talking before the show. a little bit, and David was talking about some of the things he got started with, and you mentioned that you spent a lot of time like learning just to play in your room, right? Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned you came out one day and decided.
Yeah. So I would practice all the time in one of the rooms in our house growing up, and I would sing quietly to myself to not disturb anybody else in the house. And one day I thought I would, test my skills. So I went downstairs in the dining room, and I played. I was singing a song, and my stepmom comes downstairs. She's like, "Don't quit your day job," But
which can be heartbreaking at that age, right?
Yeah. So to some people that would be heartbreaking, but for me, it set a fire under my butt to just prove her wrong.
Nice.
Yeah. As far as parents go, I have really supportive parents. So whenever they disagreed with me on something, it was like, "What? You never disagree." So I had to set them, prove them wrong.
Which is probably good parenting in a sense of like, if that's the case, because it's more of the, I want to be able to prove you wrong and do this right. It's not necessarily to put you down, and to discourage you necessarily.
Yeah.
But to probably challenge you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you grew up in a military family. So
yeah. My dad was military. My brother's military. Uncles. Yeah. Grandfather. I'm the only one that went to college.
Okay.
Right out of high school.
Okay.
And thankful for my brothers because they wanted me to do something different. I was all ready to go to be a Marine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
When I was 17, I was running like 17 miles a day.
Oh my gosh!
So
that's intense.
I didn't play guitar. Yeah,
that's intense. I'm not falling asleep on his shoulder. I'm getting my ass kicked before the show's over. I keep asking his questions.
No. And so
that's impressive.
But just because I figured like if my brothers are sacrificing, in their way, having to go overseas, and I could at least be the best.
Okay.
That I could be. I mean, it sounds so cheesy to say, but it's the truth.
No, it's not at all cheesy. Yeah, you developed that attitude, right? That focus.
Yeah. It's really fun. My brother Carl actually played guitar before I did. I pushed music away my whole life. My dad was like, "You want to play?" I was like, "Nope, get away from me." Huh. And my brother Carl left an iPod.
Okay.
A bunch of like Jack Johnson and stuff on there, and I missed him so much because he's the closest to age.
Okay.
And I would listen to his iPod when I would go run.
Huh.
And so I figured, I was like, man, my brother's getting yelled at. Maybe I can just go and try to better myself.
Right. You can focus and tune out and try to like look at those positive things. And what an inspiration, right? I mean. And then today, I mean, if you check out his website, by the way, it's what is it, davidselbo.com, right? Go to davidselbo.com.
I got lucky.
Yeah, you did. That's a good one, man. That's awesome.
That
yeah. But on there is his tour schedule. And David is one of the hardest working musicians in Austin. I mean, in terms of it's almost every day. Several of those I noticed you have 2 a day, which is pretty intense.
Yeah. It's one of those things that music kind of takes precedence in my life over a lot of things.
Yeah.
I miss out on a lot, not because I don't think that those things would be fun. Yeah. But recently, my friends are like, they'll go to the river and they'll slice their foot open, and I'm like, no.
I'm like, play some music.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to get hurt.
Worst they could have you slice your finger on a string or something.
Oh yeah, man. One of my buddies, he hurt his hand recently doing something I'm sure he regrets.
Like I'm sticking to music.
Yeah, so I was like, I'd rather anything that keeps me from playing music. No thanks.
Yeah. So what's it like day to day for you? And I think a lot of our viewers maybe are not musicians, and so there's also some I would say some misnomers around like, oh, just being an artist, you just kind of show up and you just play, right? Like it's really easy, right? You just show up, but they don't see that what it's like every day. You got to get up and hustle to find those places to play and practice. What's that like?
So for me, I established myself as far as being able to play music. Just looking at it like an actual job. I mean, it sounds silly, but it's the reality of it.
It's great. Yeah,
if I can make this much money, I'm doing part-time. If I can make this much money, it's full-time. So, like Monday through Wednesday, I usually have off unless something different, something comes up. And I'm like, hey, man, if I can make some money on these days, and coming right out of college, the goal is just to pay all my bills playing music, not to ask dad for gas money.
Yeah, good for you.
And so, that was taken care of right out of the get-go.
Nice.
Right out of the gates, that was done. And so now it's, where do I want to be a year from now?
Okay.
Like, it's like, as much as I love certain places that I play at, it's one of those things like, I would like to be playing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be a part of that festival, or be a part of something just bigger.
Yeah. That makes sense. Is you have to focus and you've got a vision to do that.
Yeah.
But you get up and you have to get on. It's lots of emails,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's
So
a schedule. It's a business.
Yeah, Monday through Wednesday is the day where I do the emails, the follow-up calls, and
tenacity and persistence.
it's definitely a lot of. Anytime my girlfriend knows, anytime I'm on the phone, it's usually business or my dad's calling me. Like, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend, let's give her a shout out because we don't do that enough on this show, right?
Yeah.
That support network is huge. Who are you dating?
Her name's Mariah Kagi.
All right.
And she's my better half.
Nice.
For sure. We've been together for a little over 3 years, and she actually helped me buy this guitar.
Okay. Nice.
You know, so
that support's so big,
I know,
right?
right?
So Mariah, thank you. You're the best. More musicians need more support like that.
Yeah.
So that's
definitely.
really good. And you have support here in the room tonight. We've got a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Who do we have here in the room tonight?
My friend Mackenzie Wade.
Yep.
She actually is pretty crucial as far as helping me look more professional. She takes amazing photographs of me and my band and at my shows, and we got some projects in the works. And she actually helped me with my album artwork for the single for Paris in the Spring.
Oh, nice.
If you look that up on iTunes and Spotify, there's like an Eiffel Tower with flowers going through it.
Okay.
And she actually drew that. She's an artist herself.
Okay, so check out Mackenzie, and what's the last name?
Wade.
Mackenzie Wade, so check out her work as well. Because people who support musicians, we support and love. Hey, but speaking of music, you want to do another song?
Yeah.
And send in your questions, by the way. I see a few coming in here. So after this song, we're going to ask some questions online. So send them in, but let's hear another tune.
Yeah, I'll do Paris in the Spring.
Excellent.
5 years have passed, we are still good friends. I know you, you know me, we both still have dreams, and so many sights to see. I feel it in my bones, looking out at the sunset. I know you're home alone, thinking about the time we once said, like, wouldn't it be nice if we could be in Paris in the spring? It was me and you and the flowers bloom in Paris in the spring. By the Eiffel Tower, I picture flowers in Paris in the spring. It was you and me, and we could be careless in Paris in the spring. Five years have passed, I must have written you 1,000 times, and somewhere among the 1,000 lines about the weather, there was a time I was doing better. I feel it in my bones, looking out at the sunset. I know you're home alone, thinking about the time we once said, like, wouldn't it be nice if we could be in Paris in the spring? It was me and you and the flowers bloom in Paris in the spring. By the Eiffel Tower, I picture flowers in Paris in the spring. It was you and me, and we could be careless in Paris in the spring. I feel it in my bones, looking out at the sunset. I know you're home alone, thinking about the time we once said lie. Wouldn't it be nice if we could be in Paris in the spring? It was me and you and the flowers bloom in Paris in the spring. By the Eiffel Tower, a picture flower. Paris in the spring. It was you and me, and we could be careless in Paris, Paris in the spring. Thank you.
And 5 new babies were just born. Hey, so we did get some questions in. Well, these aren't quite. These are just like, you just have people that love you. So Mariah says she loves you, David. Thank you. All right, that's good. And then Reed Matthews says, "What's up?"
Oh, man, I love that guy. Yeah, we went to Texas State together too. Yeah, he's a country artist.
Oh, okay.
Out of Fort Worth. And
Oh.
he just released an EP as well. So yeah.
All right.
Shout out to Reed.
We should get Reed on here. So
Hit him up.
Reed, look us up, man. And then we have a question here from Jackson Alexander.
Okay.
All right. What's your spirit animal? That's a good one.
Spirit animal.
You can choose more than one.
Man, probably a monkey or something. I'm
Oh, all right.
I was gonna assume.
How come?
It's probably a monkey. I don't know. I feel like
Mischievous, maybe? Causing trouble?
yeah, probably that.
All right. I like it. One of the questions I got some fun questions too, and please keep sending in your questions because these are great, or just comments. Just send in your love. We'll just give lots of love to them all night. Here's one. So, if you could hire any character from a popular movie to be your agent, who would it be?
Probably somebody with a big mouth.
Okay. That starts to narrow it down. It could be a cartoon character, or it could be a fictional character, obviously.
Probably like Ace Ventura.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
The detective.
That detective.
I love it. That's pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get hold of Jim Carrey and see if he'll reprise the role. So, speaking of which, if they made a movie of your life, what famous actor would play David Selbo?
Oh man. Well, I'm half Norwegian and half
Okay.
Chamorro. Chamorro's from people from Guam.
Okay.
So it had to be somebody of like Pacific Islander.
All right.
Descent, probably just to fill the
To fill the
the
look.
look.
But we're whitewashing everything today, so it would be like it's going to end up being like I don't know, Sylvester Stallone or something.
No, I guess to play my role, man, I don't know. Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, that's a good one. We're getting lots of head nods in the room.
Man of
here.
honor,
That's
man.
pretty good. And if you're online right now and you have a suggestion, send it in. We'll let David know. Here's another question that just came in. This is good. Carl Yeri Selbo.
Okay, yeah, it's Carl and Yari.
Carl and
My
Yari.
brother and his wife.
Thanks. Oh, nice. Okay. Who are your newest musical influences?
Oh, great question.
Mm-hmm.
I really like John Denver.
Oh, really?
It's funny. He's not new.
No,
I guess,
but new to you.
for
Like,
new,
there's
to me,
like
new to
certain
me,
people,
yeah. John Denver. I mean, I listen to a lot of R&B, like R&B
Okay.
stuff, and
What is it that you like about John Denver? And I'll come
well,
back
it's
to
funny.
that.
Is John Denver is just. It's funny. I pushed that away for so long. I was dating my girlfriend for 3 years. She was trying to tell me to learn John Denver. I was like, no,
Okay.
not doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's an artist that I follow and really like. His name's Alan Stone.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
Man, he's awesome, and he does some John Denver covers, and they're it's just wild how you can hear someone like the person who originally wrote the song.
Yeah.
You might not be influenced by it, and then somebody that you love does a cover of their own rendition of it,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, that's a great song.
Yeah.
And it kind of opened up a whole new door for me as far as folk music.
Okay.
And learning to, because I mean, my favorite thing is songwriting. As far as the guitar is just the outlet, the platform to show songs.
Yep.
And Yeah, I love like Jim Croce, like
Yeah, one of the
the
greats.
man,
Yep.
just killer voice.
Yep.
You know, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What, is there a guilty pleasure artist that you hate to admit that you really love? And if you say Miley Cyrus, nobody's going to hate you.
No, a guilty pleasure.
If you're just like, I want to listen to this artist. I don't care what anybody thinks. Driving home in my car.
I'll be honest. I grew up listening to a lot of country.
Okay.
And country and folk, and so Alison Krauss.
Oh, I love Alison Krauss. She's from my hometown.
No way.
Literally,
That's
yeah.
cool.
She's from Decatur, Illinois.
I'm talking. I know every word to every song off the album. When You Say Nothing at All.
That's not even a guilty pleasure, man. I'm totally falling asleep on his shoulder now. We're gonna hang out listening to Alison Krauss all night.
Man, like just amazing songwriting.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I was 8 years old. My dad we were driving around in the Subaru, and he said, "If an angel could have a voice."
Alison Krauss, man.
Man,
dude, I'm hanging out with this guy all night. We're not new best buddies. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Seen her a couple times. Yeah.
I've never seen her. I would love to though.
She's great. I saw her perform with Robert Plant. It was
man,
unbelievable.
That album's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. So more questions are coming in here. So, so you have the full band you're putting together, right? So I have a question about this, right? So from Brian Wolf, for those of us who haven't got to catch the full band yet, what dynamic does the full band add to your sound?
Man, that's something that has been in the making for so long.
Okay.
You know, I've played these songs, and from a bedroom to some friends to my dad. I got to get the approval from him, and then to 30 to 100 people just playing them, and being able to hear my songs and having my drummer Jordan Widener and my bassist Tanner Enlow on them, and letting them take creative license.
Okay.
Because for me, making something in the studio versus making something live on a stage in front of a crowd and energy and is it's just, I can't describe it, man.
Yeah.
And so as far as coming to a full band show, there's way more energy.
Yeah. Way
more energy, and we get a lot more funky stuff.
Okay, all right. So the sound changes.
Yeah, we love to get groovy. That's really what it is.
Okay. And how have they influenced you in a sense?
Man, honestly, Jordan's a better, I guess, to answer that question a second ago, to hire someone to be like the agent is Jordan Widener. That guy, every time between songs, like, hey man, you should mention that you wrote that song.
Oh, nice.
Hey man, you should mention your album. I'm like, you're right.
Always in your ear, like telling you what you gotta do.
He's very influential in that way. Because I'll forget, because I'm just in the middle of the next song, the next thing. And,
that's great when you have that sort of team, put that group together.
Yeah,
right,
and those guys are great.
And then I think it probably is tough being the front man in the band, right, and trying to treat it as an equal team and give everybody their creative.
And that's funny because those guys are so creative, man. Like I'm talking about they're in different other projects. Like they're trying to do different things all the time, and for them to make time for me is nice. You know, I value their input and their time. That's
impressive. Let's make sure we give a shout out to them online too. So that's good. So another question. This one's from Mariah. What's your nickname from your high school friends? Oh, that's a great question, Mariah. Well done. I want to know what this is.
My nickname.
Yeah, because she's got to have some insider knowledge here for this one. This is good.
Well, there's, I don't know. Well, I ran track in cross country, so if she's referring to that, then it's Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Because
I love it.
So there's a rule in track. You have to be at least 2 paces in front of somebody to cut in.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't care.
Tokyo Drift.
I would just.
That is awesome.
I would cut people off. I would cut people off all the time, and I paid the price. I got spiked real bad. I needed stitches.
Wow.
It messed my ankle up real bad. But the other nickname amongst my friends is I'm named after my dad.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a junior, and so only my dad and family can call me Junior. And so the friends that she's met, whenever they want to get at me and try to.
Oh, they call you Junior?
Oh, yeah. They're like, hey, Junior.
I'm going to stick to Tokyo Drift, because if you were here in the room, you see the size of this guy, you don't want to call him Junior unless you're kind of in the club. But Tokyo Drift is good. That may be maybe your next album, I think. That's good.
No, that's a terrible name.
I love it. Or maybe a video game that you're going to write.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There you go. If you had to, if when actually one of your songs plays on one of the video games, which video game would it be?
I don't know, man. I think it'd be kind of cool. I always liked the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games.
Yeah, I do too.
I always appreciated the music that was on there.
All right.
Just to be featured on a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, that'd be kind of
cool. Okay, so at Tony Hawk, right here, David Selbo, next artist on here. Hey, here's another question. This is from Katie. What's your favorite song of all time? That's a tough one.
Favorite song of all time.
Nice.
Well, I'm prepared, so.
All right.
No, my favorite song of all time has to be. It's funny. It's a Dan Fogelberg song.
Oh, okay.
Called "Leader of the Band."
Yeah.
And it's a song he wrote for his father.
Oh, really?
And when I was, it's funny, man. Like I remember everything. There's so many moments that were influential in getting to me.
Yeah.
Where I am today.
Yeah.
And the song "Leader of the Band" is one he wrote for his father. And in an interview, he's like, "Man, growing up, there was still the dynamic of parent and child, and then you got a little older and became friends."
Yeah.
And I like to think that my dad and I are friends now. It's not so much parent to child.
Sure.
And he said that song, he wrote that song, and it cemented his relationship with his father. And when I was 15, my dad said, "Listen to this song," and he's like, what better way can you honor your dad than to write something like that? And man, I haven't been able to do something like that. I haven't been able to write a song like that, but one day I will.
Pretty powerful. And that's actually a good transition, because I know a lot of you are watching tonight. We got a lot of viewers on who want to hear David play. So, David, you want to maybe do a couple songs? And then we've got a bunch more questions coming in. So send in your questions. David's going to really wow us here. So,
so this next song is called "So Real," and it's about the beginning of Mariah and I's relationship, where she would she doesn't like it every time I call her out. Do it all the time at shows. She would lie to me about little things. And it's like, you don't gotta lie, just tell me the truth. Tell me how you feel. So it's called "So Real." Baby, how am I supposed to love you when all you do is hide the truth from me? And lately, I can't seem to touch you. For all I know, it's been this way for weeks. But you keep lying to yourself, and you find out you turn into somebody else. Be real with me, be real with me. All I need is you to be so real. Ooh, baby, don't be afraid to tell me when life gets overwhelming. I'll be there. It's so crazy how I feel about you. I can't do this without you. You know I care, but you keep lying to yourself, and you find out you turn into somebody else. Be real with me, be real with me. All I need is you to be so real. When you finally get a chance to hear me, I hope you take the time to see this clearly. And you know how it feels, just how it feels to be real with me, be real with me. All I need is you to be I'm sure she does not appreciate being called out at shows, but there's no other way for me to explain that song. Let's see. Song I want to play for y'all. Play this one. This is actually off my EP. It's called Dead Dying Roses. It's about a time I was talking to 4 different girls at one time, trying to find real love, and it's not the best way to go about doing it. Well, I get sick and tired of trying to figure out love. I'd rather be wrapped up in flames. Now all these third degrees, they all turned out to be just additions to a long list of names. Like Chelsea and Laura and that girl from Oklahoma. Yeah, she had me running circles again. But I know that she ain't about nothing. She was just trying to take my loving. She was trying to take my loving away. And I'm done running round, and I done figured out that I done did all I can. Now pockets full of hopeless, dead dying roses belong to a better man. See, every now and then I wonder how Ashley's been. I wonder, do I cross her mind? But when she left to England, I was left here singing, trying to mend this broken heart of mine. And then like that, she was right back, she was falling in my arms. And I wonder, is she gonna stay? But I know that she ain't by nothing. She was just trying to take my loving. She was trying to take my loving away. And I'm done running round, and I done figured out that I done did all I can. Well, pockets full of hopeless, dead dying roses belong to a better man. Girl, everything I do ain't always about you. Get a grip on yourself. Girl, everything I do ain't always about you. Get a grip on yourself. 'Cause I know that you ain't about nothing. You just trying to take my loving. Trying to take my loving away. And I'm done running round, and I done figured out that I done did all I can. Well, pockets full of hopeless, dead dying roses belong to a better man. Yeah, they belong to a better man. Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's good. So one of the questions that came in while you were playing, and please send in some more questions, was best live show that you've ever seen. And that question, I mean, this might put some context in here. That came from Reed Matthews. So
Best live show I've ever seen.
uh,
I guess I have to go back to me and Aaron Stevens. We went to go see Alan Stone, and in Austin, I think at Antone's, I think.
okay.
And a group named Sister Sparrow and the Dirty Birds opened up for him, and man, like that band is killer.
Okay.
They're like 7 or 8 people,
Oh,
and
not familiar.
they're amazing, man.
Huh.
I think they're up out of New York. I think I'm not
Okay.
really sure. And then Alan Stone came on, and I never heard of either one of these bands. I was like, cool, let's go. You know, and it's funny, like the tickets were like $35,
Okay.
and now to go see Alan Stone, it's like it's like $100.
Isn't that great when you can see an artist like in that at that point in their career in that
Yeah.
setting?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's incredible to. That was probably the best night. And while I was there, I mean, I'm not one to admit that I've ever been starstruck because I haven't run to many like like famous people.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to get a beer, and Gary Clark Jr. was standing there.
Oh, nice.
At the bar, and I was sitting there getting like, wait, I was like, man, you look so familiar.
But at the time, he wasn't as big as he is now.
No, he wasn't. No,
right,
he wasn't.
But still, you kind of
he was super cool. He's like,
yeah.
what's up, man? And I was like, do you know who you are? I was just retarded. I just messed. Yeah. So I'm sure if I ever meet those guys, I'd be like, I'm sorry for.
But that is a great story, and I think it really fits even what we do here. Is I talked to a lot of the viewers now, and a lot everybody I can talk to, right? People in line at the grocery store, about how important it is to see local live music and see artists, and they're at the stage that you're in now, right?
Right.
And you're working your ass off every day. You're playing, and my wife and I are often seeing shows, and we're like, this artist, like yourself, is so incredibly talented, and here's this opportunity to see them at this point, right?
Right.
And you never know, especially in Austin, these artists are going to get huge someday, because they're so talented, they're going to break through. And so to hear that story, right? You could have said, I saw ZZ Top, or I saw these big amphitheaters, but no, it was that intimate setting to see that artist is pretty incredible, right? Yeah. It's touching. And so if you're watching now too. You can book David for private house concerts, right?
Yeah.
How do they do that? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, through my website, davidselbo.com, and on there's a link that takes you to you can send me emails, we can communicate through that, or my Facebook page is David Michael Selbo Music, and on there, I believe my cell phone number is connected on there. You can reach me several different ways. Or through my girlfriend.
Out. Yeah.
At shows, I tell everybody, I'm like, this is my girlfriend. She's head of security. She really is. She sits right up front. So she's head of security.
Awesome.
And if you want to know any kind of information about me, about booking, please talk to her if you guys are leaving and I'm still playing.
Okay.
But she's so crucial. She helps out a lot, man. I don't tell her that enough.
That's what helps. Keeps the process going, because it is difficult trying to do everything you can't yourself. And we just had a house concert here on Friday, and they really are special. I mean, they're just amazing. We had Daisy O'Connor and Jake Farr and Anthony Garcia all lined up. And if you've never done a house show before, I really encourage you to do it. I will personally help you out if you're interested. Of course, Mariah's got it all under control, but I mean, call David. I really recommend it. Here's another question that came in though. This one came from Maritza Ramirez. Favorite R&B artist. And then there's a second question, but let's start there. Favorite R&B artist.
Man, my favorite R&B artist. I mean, if you put on some Usher, like I'll know like every word.
Oh, okay.
So I love, a big Usher fan.
All right.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Love Jamie Foxx.
Huh.
Like, I used to watch the Jamie Foxx show all the time. And anytime he'd play piano, it was just cool because it's silly. Like when I was 12, I read a magazine and said like, oh, the most attractive instrument for a man to play. And it was saxophone, piano, and then guitar. Okay. And so I was like, I don't want to play saxophone, so I taught myself how to play piano.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, when I was younger, yeah.
That's tough.
Well, I'm not a whiz at it, but when I would watch Jamie Foxx play, his voice kind of carried over a lot, and he sang kind of just, I don't know, it's something about a good voice and one, in one instrument. Yeah. Like not anything overproduced. It's something to that I really enjoy. Yeah,
and I think good listeners will know that and they see that, and it's like they really catch a hold of it and can appreciate that. There was a second follow-up question that Maritza had. Thanks for sending your question here. If you could perform at any festival, what would it be?
Man, at this point, I would, I don't know, ACL?
that would be a pretty nice festival, right? Yeah, that's pretty big.
There's one that I would like to go, it's called like the Norsk Host Fest, something like that. Norsk Host Fest. Huh. It's up in North Dakota. Oh, okay. And granted, like, why would anybody want to go up there? But right, but they have a festival
North
up there.
Dakota viewers, no offense.
Everyone, it's just every time I mention like upstate,
why would you go?
It's so cold,
course, right.
But for me, Johnny Lang is from Fargo, North Dakota. Love Johnny Lang.
Incredibly talented,
and so I actually looked up that festival, North Coast Festival, and it's huge. There's tons of people, and someone that was from there mentioned it to me. Like, you should go up there. Cause you're half Norwegian. Like, they would love to have you up there.
I've never heard of it before either, that festival. Yeah. And Johnny Lang's another artist that doesn't get, I think, enough recognition.
He just released an album too, so
yeah. All right. Please keep sending your questions. You guys are not even letting me interview, which is I love. So please keep sending in your questions. But I've got a couple of follow-up to that. Really is what are some of your biggest pet peeves about big festivals?
Man, I don't know. I guess it just depends. Parking.
Parking, yes. That's easy.
I've played some. I was in a Texas country band with Reed. Reed Ferris. I was a bassist, and I sang harmonies in his band. Nice. Yeah, man. Shout out, Reed. And we had such a good time. We played some shows where we had to walk so far from parking with massive monitors in each hand, Yeah. And so, just having designated parking for entertainers,
Yeah, would be nice. Yes, I agree. It's bad enough for us that are fans, but I mean, you're having to move stuff in.
Yeah.
I thought they treated you guys well. I guess not. All right. So parking. What else? What else is really a pet peeve at festivals?
I guess it just depends on. I just played a show recently where like a little kid was just little kids were like playing soccer in front of the stage.
Basically a playground in front of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that drives me nuts too. Yeah, don't take your kids if they're just at a playground. All right. Okay. From David Selbo. All right. Parking, kids. What else? I would agree about those. By the way, I'm not going to argue with those.
Not every festival has the best sound.
Oh,
the best sound. They don't always set you up. Being an acoustic artist, they don't really. Not every festival I've played has the best setup.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's something we may miss. Is just, I say we meaning a lot of us that are fans and not being a musician here. We sometimes tend to miss it. I mean, I notice when it's just too loud.
Yeah.
But that's true. As an artist, you really appreciate that. You're like, wow, it's really not coming across the way that you want it to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what it is. I played a few shows in the Riverwalk with a friend, and just the rules they have out there as far as like the decibel levels and stuff like that. You can't be, but just certain things like that. You try to get down to a certain venue, and you're trying to be heard.
Yeah.
But you can't have your speakers facing the crowd.
Right.
I don't.
It's funny. We've done so many intimate house concerts and house shows and one place like Saxon Pub, Windflow, and these places that are good like listening rooms. I have a hard time going to some of the bigger shows that you're talking about because I've become spoiled now because of the sound, the parking. Those are some of the challenges, right? But it's so great, especially your type of music that plays so well in those intimate settings.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes left, so just to check in, if you have questions or just comments and love that you want to send to David, please do so. I've just got a couple questions left. Unless you want to do another song before we wrap.
Yeah, I'd love to
do another one.
Yeah.
Let's do one more song. You guys send in some questions, and then we're gonna close it out. So let's hear from you.
Yeah. This one's called This Town. It's on my record, Build Me a Space, and it's about going back to your hometown and kind of seeing your ex's, your old like high school sweetheart's home, and you see the streets that you used to travel to, together, and just stuff like it's kind of about that. So. Got my mind spinning like a couple tires on a child's bike. Every time that I feel like coming home. not one for memory lane. Every time that I hear your name in a sentence with his, it sounds all wrong. Well, this town don't look like much, and all this town ever does got me thinking about love, 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 love. Thinking about love. I take the long way round to see if you're still in town, but I wouldn't stop by even if you were. To me you still look the same, but you go by a different name. I know that you are still my girl, and this heart is covered in dust, and all this town ever does got me thinking about love, 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 love. Thinking about love. Well, my mind goes wandering every time I come home, and I'm still wandering these streets alone, thinking about love, 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 thinking about love. See, now the life I live surely comes well equipped with a heart that's always on the run. As I'm leaving this town, I wonder who will want me now, even when my running days are done. And I don't look like much, but all this town ever does got me thinking about love, 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 love. Thinking about love. Got me thinking about love, 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 love. Thinking about love. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a good song. We're all grooving out in there. Everybody's kind of in their little bubble. That's the beauty about coming to these, right? And so, hey, if you ever want to come to one of our shows and be part of our studio audience, you absolutely can. It's really, you get this like own private little house concert here. That was nice.
Thank you.
Question that came in. Question that came in here online from Katie Baker asks, you had a lot of really good songs that didn't make the album. So, was it hard to choose? And then a follow-up. How did you make those choices?
Well, it really stemmed from picking a title. And the original title of the album was going to be Diamonds in a Gold Mine. And it's come from a song that Aaron Stevens wrote.
Okay.
All right, and it talks about oh man, what does it go? It goes I can't even think of it on the top of my head. He says, searching for sun that is yet to rise, looking for blue in a gray sky, searching for diamonds in a gold mine. These are the things that I'll never find, but it's all right.
Nice. That's
it's
great.
okay. It's a great song, but something about just like the play on words, like diamonds in a gold mine. Is like I really wanted just something unique and people to think, and I didn't want to pick the name of one of the songs off the album and do it that way. 'Cause I try my best to put in all the effort I can, and if there's something, the easier decision is what I land on, then fine.
Okay.
But I want to at least put in as much effort as I can.
How many songs would you say that were sort of on the beginning list, and then basically hit the cutting room floor?
There was like 20 songs that were on the list. 14 to 15 got recorded.
Wow.
And narrowed it down to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough because these are like your babies that you're like, man, I really put a lot into that. But they could come back again, right? In the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right? Everything gets recycled.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets it finds its purpose.
Okay. I recall from the old days, right, when you'd see a lot of bands put out their B albums later, right? And it would be the stuff that was on the cutting room floor, and those are like the best albums ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like the stuff they weren't going to put out to the mass public, but then the diehard fans loved it. So yeah, I think I love those stories, and you hear about like, oh, I wrote this song 10 years ago, and now it's out. So
yeah, man, that's
hold on to those.
It's definitely something. My buddy Zach Carney told me, he's like, man, just take all your songs, just record them all.
Yeah. Because
you never know, like, you know, just
I think it
might find its purpose.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
So I don't have any more questions coming in, but I've got one more question I want to ask before we wrap here because we're almost at the top of the hour. And I ask this question every week to the artist because people seem to love it because I think we just have like a morbid fan base, I guess. But so it's our death question of the week. So what is the most hilarious way that you would kill a band member in the most hilarious way possible? How would you kill them? Because band members are tough, right? Now, I know you got a love for your current ones, maybe some old band members. Like, you really hilariously kill them. How would you do it?
Oh, man.
We've had some goodies in the past.
That's so funny. I don't know if it would kill him, but I guess I've always wanted to do the eye drops in someone's.
Oh, okay.
You know, so maybe just they die by severe dehydration, being in the hospital from, from
the eye drops.
Yeah, from the eye. Just a whole bottle in someone's beer.
So don't go on tour with David and piss him off as a band member.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. All right, eye drops.
Yeah. That's I don't drink, and if I do, it's very, very slim, and very rarely do I drink. And when I was in that Texas country band, man, those guys. Those guys can put it away.
I would imagine, yes. I couldn't compete with that. All right, but eye drops, that's how you die hilariously, hanging out with David. So now your band members are going to be checking. Every time they have a drink. Hey, so thanks everybody for tuning in. Please like and share. That really means a lot because it keeps this show going. It helps us bring artists like David on. Next week we have Hannah Barakat. I'm really thrilled to have her on. I've known Hannah for a while. She is also one of the hardest working musicians. She performs almost every day. She is a hustler, an incredible singer. So tune in next week. And we're on an hour earlier next week. We're on at 6 o'clock because we're doing actually a big show out on our front lawn. So if you're in Austin, Texas and you want to come by, we have something like 18 musicians, artists that are going to perform out on the front lawn because it's National Night Out. So we're going to be going all night long. We're celebrating the community and the neighborhood. So we have a bunch of artists coming out. So that's next week. But let me wrap by just saying thank you to Ben Levy, who runs sound and a video for us every week. Mario Ramirez is running our social, so give him a shout out. My wife Claudia also on social. Mackenzie was here in our studio audience helping us with the photos. And of course, one of our partners and sponsors, New Standard Manufacturing. If you need any merch, t-shirts, hats, anything, reach out to those folks. But tune in next week. And so again, thanks David for being on the show, man.
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody. Have a good night.
Later.